Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Deloaded,
I'm Lukent.
I am Bonk.
And I am Lunch Katsu.
and this is the DonFuer podcast. Today we have Lunch Katsu with us, as he just introduced himself. He's a pretty
Hello.
well-known player. I like to I like to think of him as a friend, but today we're going to get to know him even better.
All right.
Um,
Yeah.
so you're a pretty well-liked player. Everyone I've talked to, or everyone who I've ever heard talk about you, has just had very positive things to say. And
Well,
you're a good builder. So, it, is that on purpose? Do you have a strategy?
um, to be honest with you, I'm glad that people have a good, like they feel the way they do about me because, I mean, I just try to be a cool person. All I do is I work and, I'm stressed out, I get stressed out in real life. So, when I play games, I just kind of want to have a good time with friends and stuff like that, so that's why I just try to like come on here and have a fun time with everybody, like it doesn't matter where you're from, what building groups you guys are from, or like people are from, and like I try to stay away from drama because I don't like drama.
Right.
And yeah, with my like building, I mean, I was always like artistic and stuff, but I mean, I have fun like building. It's like it's cool to like just kind of like take the time and just kind of like do stuff as a strategy. Not really. Most of the time, I'm just kind of like going with whatever I build. I don't really like ever. I do some like I'll mess with like World Edit a couple times, but I don't ever even in World Edit I don't even finish like a build. I'll just do like a bone structure or something.
Uh huh.
But as I build stuff, like if once I build a bone structure of it, I just start adding to it as I just go. So I don't really like. It's not always just gonna be like it's I don't do copy paste stuff most of the time. It's more like I just kind of add as I go. I guess it's not really.
That's
It's
good.
not, there's no like I don't know. I never know what I'm gonna do most of the time. Like I just get to a
Well,
location and I get kind of inspired by other people's builds and stuff.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm the same way. I don't plan very much. So, that's good. I think we have that in common. Uh, so
Yeah, I
what,
love your build. I love your builds too. Like your
oh,
build. I love your castle builds, dude. Like
I
I
appreciate
love
it.
medieval stuff, and your builds are like they look cool.
Yeah.
I like them. Yeah.
Remind me again, how long have you been in DonFuer? I know it's been at least a few months,
Um,
right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, uh, I don't really know. It's been like a few months or so. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I've I wanted to go and kind of like check it out and see like what Donfer's about because I never really built with you guys that much.
Yeah.
Um, it seems pretty fun. There's a lot of good people here, like a lot of good people here and stuff, and I love the bases that you guys build and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like people say certain things about your interior, but
Yeah, yeah.
to be honest, like it's sometimes it's fun just to do interiors, or I mean, just to do like exteriors. It's not. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I don't see
Yeah.
anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I always just see it as like I mean, I'm building for fun and for me making an interior is kind of boring. So,
You,
Yeah,
you
it's
get
not.
things.
Go
Sorry,
ahead. Go ahead.
you get things done a lot faster when you don't build materials.
Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody. Like interiors. I feel like sometimes like when playing on 1.12, doing interiors gets a little repetitive because like you only have so many blocks to like build like to use, and you end up redoing the same thing for interiors. Like you'll build a chair and a bench and like just add a lot of like decorations and paintings and stuff. So I feel like doing interior work on a 1.12 server is very limited to extent. um
absolutely.
yeah.
Do you have any questions for me? Just out of curiosity?
um no, I mean, Well, do you still like? Are you still active on like on other servers like with DonFuer and stuff like that?
So, yeah, DonFuer is still on. We're still on 9B, and we're still on Phoenix Anarchy.
Oh, oh, okay. Phoenix Anarchy. You know what? I forgot what. I think I was actually on Phoenix Anarchy, and they told me that you were. They had a DonFuer branch from there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, what? Like for real?
Yeah. The
Like
Phoenix
I didn't know
Anarchy
that.
branch
Yeah,
is doing quite well. They're doing quite
that's
well.
good.
They're
Yeah.
small, they're a lot smaller than 2B, but everything is smaller over there. So.
Yeah, I saw a picture of one of the spawn bases there.
Mhm.
I was thinking about like visiting ruins, so I was asking. I forgot who it was. Like I was messaging someone within like Phoenix Anarchy, and I was telling them like what because I want to go see the ruins. I want to see like ruins and stuff,
Yeah.
And they were giving me three of the Dawn Spawnfear bases to go look at. So I plan on going to like revisit some of those ruins or like actually see those ruins.
That's good.
Yeah.
Lucan, do you have a question?
Yeah. So, I've got a bit of a pretty generic question, but how long do you think it took you to get like pretty established on the server? Because personally, it took a pretty long time.
I don't know what you mean by established. Like like
So, like getting like how long do you think it took you to get out of spawn? Let's say.
um it took me. I mean, to getting on a spawn, it took okay. I actually recorded my first time playing Tubi, and I posted it on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I was still learning Minecraft. So like Tubi was like kind of like my first server, and I remember playing Tubi, spawning in, and I didn't even know how to like make bread or like how.
No.
Yeah,
TB
Oh,
was your
I
first
was
server?
yeah,
really?
yeah. So there are pros and cons to it, or like there's probably more cons than there are pros to it.
That's gonna be in the title. It's gonna be like, or the thumbnail, right? It'll be like your skin, and right next to it, it'll say, "2B was my first server." Quotation marks.
I mean,
That's
you do learn a lot of
shocking.
vanilla things on 2B,
actually,
surprisingly.
When
You wouldn't
actually,
think so.
when did you
actually,
join? What year was?
I believe I joined around 2020 or like mid 2020.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
that's
like
a chaos. Like that's a chaotic time to join 2P.
Yeah,
yeah, I
there was a
remember.
lot of conflict during that
And there's
time,
that
especially.
flood,
Oh,
the flood of people from COVID joining and everything.
Yeah.
yeah. So when I first joined, I remember seeing my first experience joining. I spawned in and like I was in this wasteland of like blocks and stuff, right? But getting out of spawn is not. I don't feel like it's the hard part. I did it in vanilla, but it took me a couple tries. It took me like a day or so. Um, I did get bed trapped once. Forgot by who. Um, it was probably like a friends of like fax machine or something.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a
Um,
follow-up. How long did you play vanilla?
Probably like about like a couple days. I didn't even have priority queue, so I did have to wait the queue. Like I
You
actually
didn't
waited.
priority queue in 2020
No, it's because I
when
didn't
you're
know about
joining
priority when I joined. I didn't know about priority queue, so I actually waited the hours just to join.
That's
you
what I did,
so
honestly.
on, dude.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I found out
just
about it.
overnight it.
Yeah, so well, I would go to work and then come back. Like it was still like I was hoping that it wasn't actually like I didn't get kicked because it happens. You're just waiting so long for hours, and then you get kicked from the queue sometimes. That happens. But yeah, once I found out that there's priority queue, I bought priority queue, and then I found out about Impact. So I got Impact, and I've actually been playing with Impact ever since. I'd never really, I haven't really messed with any other like clients and stuff. As a builder, I don't feel like I really need anything else. Honestly, like Impact, is everything I really need.
I actually agree with that. A lot of people get into all these fancy clients, and they they're like, "Oh, I need the latest client that has the latest config so I can do the crystal PvP." But like
Y-
that's how the Phobos thing happened. You know,
Yeah, I think it's
everyone.
more like people jumping clients because they're like PvPers, so they're always looking for the best client for PvPing and
Right,
stuff.
but they get
Or
themselves in trouble. They end up getting ratted, or they download something that isn't
yeah,
safe.
or they're doing it because there's either like a new dupe with a certain client,
Uh
or
huh.
like a travel like exploit or something. You know what I mean?
So when you joined in 2020, how did you find out about all of the exploits that already happened? That like there's a bunch of things on 2B2T that you just would never know if you joined. You know, if you joined recently, like the whole don't don't have someone load your pearl when someone else is looking at you. You know, don't what's another one? Like
Well,
there's a bunch of
like
little exploits like that that are
Oh, like
just
the terrain at your base
right.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
don't show anyone screenshots of your base. You know,
yeah,
all
so
stuff like that.
all that stuff I learned like later on, way later on, because like I didn't know about most of these exploits until like after the autumn drain. You know, like after the autumn drain, like that's when I was introduced to a lot of other players
Oh,
and
you were at the
building
autumn
groups.
drain. Okay,
I
I
was
don't
yeah I was
fully know your 2B2T story. Like,
yeah.
who took you in when you first joined? Like, what?
So when I first joined, I was playing alone most of the time, and I didn't really have anybody to play with. So all I did was going around with like obsidian and signs and spam signs everywhere, you know. And I still get messages from people like to this day, uh, with a screenshot of my sign somewhere on the highways or like on the Southern Canal or whatever, you know. Like so for like months, all I did was just spam signs everywhere, and eventually I got feedback from that because people were messaging me and like uh they were messaging me and trying to and some people were like supported it because they said they felt like they see my signs on the highway and it like people will say that it makes them feel like they're not alone, and I think that's also what's great about like signs on the highway and stuff. They you're traveling, you don't see people for like hours, and um I don't know, so there's just something about signs that people love, or I get people that just fucking hate seeing my signs because I spam so many signs with my name on it that they're getting annoyed of seeing the same name over and over. Just it kind of ruins
Mhm.
that, I guess. But
Yeah.
for months I did that, and then I met a player and started building my first base somewhere in the millions. But that never really like went anywhere. So I met this player named Noted Painter, and he was starting this group called Cadia, and I look back on it and it's so like funny. But we're building a base in the end, and to honestly, I don't even know whatever happened to that base. Like it's I've never heard anything about it, But we ended up abandoning that because no, my friend Noted Painter found out about the pyro dupe with the donkeys.
Mm-hmm.
So then he kind of like abandoned the base and just kind of like started doing his own thing, I think, with Millennium. And so then I went back to spawn. I killed myself back to spawn, and I started just kind of like doing dumb stuff in spawn, trying to like I don't know. I flooded the overworld highways to like 5K, whatever. Just doing like I don't know. Like I was new. I just didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I got a message. I was also doing YouTube, and I got a message from another YouTuber called Channy. And Channy had an idea. Like he commented on one of my videos saying like, "Hey, I have this idea. Um,
Oh, I know
you,
Channy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah."
I know who you're talking about.
Channy was like, "Hey, I have a stupid idea. If you want, like come help me build, And I was like, "Well, all right. I mean, I don't have nothing going on, And so I ended up showing up at these courts he gave me, and it ended up being at the drain. And I'd never heard about the drain before. So when I showed up, he was already kind of like he started kind of like building. He was building like the bottom. He was rebuilding the bottom part of Topia's build. So I was like, all right, cool. Like if he's doing that side, I'll start on the left side, which is like Willy Roof's side. So I started building my building right there. So me and Chani started to rebuild, and eventually we ran out of blocks. Then after I got in contact with Node Painter, he done a painter swung by the base, and he showed me the pyro dupe with the donkeys, and then we started duping a lot, and then eventually it got patched, and then we reached out to Baki for like because we ran out of materials after a while, But Baki was, I guess, busy with like the whole water cube stuff, so he wasn't able to come and show up and like like help or whatever. So I guess then Dig MC kind of showed up because I guess what I think happened is that Dig MC was like visiting old ruins and he showed up at the autumn drain, and then Dig MC got in contact with Turban, and then it kind of like snowballed from there. uh and the base got bigger because more people started showing up. I think the guardsmen, spawn masons, uh individual players, like that were good at building and stuff. I don't know, it just kind of like, and then Armor Smith eventually showed up, and then Baron Dome showed up. But Baron Dome was like the last guy who visited because Armor Smith, I don't know, he kind of like got all weird at the end, and then he decided that he wanted to start like griefing the base. So instead, we kind of were chasing him around the base, and we decided to just self grief it, so we won't give him the satisfaction of it.
Interesting. And I suppose that your autumn drain experience is what opened all the doors for you, basically, because
I believe so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I got to meet a lot of cool people. Like, I got to meet Entropy. I met Orson at the time, but that was not like, uh, Orson was a little chiller.
Yeah,
He's not the person he was now.
he was a different person back then. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I've known him a long time, so or
Yeah. Then after
since the
that,
beginning, anyway, of him being on TV.
Yeah.
But so from there, you join. Did you join like Short Bus, or did you join
oh yeah.
the Masons, or where did you go after that?
No, after that, I joined Shorbus Caliphate, and
Okay.
I started building with like Joey and like the Shorbus guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
They're
from
good.
there, I just kind of like, it just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, we always had fun building. It was always fun building bases and stuff. And then I got introduced to Guardsmen, and that's when I joined, like, eventually I joined Guardsmen.
That's right. I forgot you were a guardsman. When?
Yeah.
Sorry. When did you join Guardsmen?
To be honest, I don't even know. I can't even remember. Like, I'm bad with dates.
Was
You
it
can't even
after
ask
they
me.
were like basically dead, or was it before that?
No, this was when Orson was like, I think he was also like a what do you call him?
Distinguished.
Yeah, he was distinguished, and we were all building. So we built at what do you call it?
Adamantium.
Yeah, adamantium. Yeah, that was like
That's
we
kind of
built
the
at
last
adamantium.
Guardsman base, basically.
Yeah,
In my
in a way. Yeah, I feel like. I
How do you
mean,
feel about the Guardsman lunch? They're kind of in a sorry state, aren't they?
it's not the same for sure. Because eventually the group did get into like drama, especially and
Oh, yeah, I was there.
yeah, I know you
I
were there. I know.
partook in the drama, believe me.
And for a while when I was in it, like when Orson was like leading, I guess he was like kind of like leading the group in a way, right? Like
Yeah, well,
like
he was a distinguished member, I was a distinguished member, and Herm was, and then it seemed like every week Herm would just make a random new person a distinguished. Like
yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
it was like you never knew who was leading the group from one week to the next, and then that it just I don't know. Things went. I think membership just lost trust with each other, and
Oh, for sure, I believe so
that's
too. But
ultimately what has killed that. But
when I joined, it was super fun. Like we all just built, we just kind of like made bases, and it was just fun, like, and that's what I always like. That's what I always like to do.
yeah.
Um.
Well, hopefully you can find a little bit of that fun at some of the DonFuer bases.
Oh yeah, I'd love to, but sometimes I just feel like my real life I have so much going on that I have to like if I'm doing something, I really have to like just settle for like one or two projects. I can't really like do as many crazy projects as I want to anymore because I just don't feel like I have time anymore.
Right.
Like there's so many cool bases I want to go to, and I get offered to go to bases, but I just can't because like I don't have that time anymore.
Mm-hmm. Were you at Osmo's thing? Osmo Bites? What's it called?
Oh, you talking about the one that recently got griefed with the cake and the dragon?
Yes, I forgot what it's called.
So, do you remember that base, that SpawnFear base that you guys were building at with the little thundercloud and stuff?
Yes, yeah.
So after that base, I was thinking about actually going to that base. So that same day, I was like, I'm probably gonna go to Osmobites thing, you know.
Hmm.
And then that's the same day that whole thing happened, and I was like, oh well, you know what, like it would have been a waste of time because like the same
Yeah.
day I decided to go is the same time like all that happened, you know.
I
So
was
like,
so sad when I saw that get destroyed. I was like, oh,
yeah, it was pretty, you know, like,
yeah. I was
but
excited for that. I was like, I had been there and I built like a destroyer, like a modern destroyer ship.
yeah, I know you said that you're not used to like building that kind of stuff, so
No,
you're
I'm
not really
not.
happy with it.
I didn't like how it looked at all, but
That's okay. I think we all like have like builds that we're not really proud of sometimes, you know.
yeah, yeah.
It
It was an
happens. It
experiment.
happens.
It was an
Yeah.
experiment. Is he doing another? Or we can't probably talk about whether he's doing another one, but
Yeah, I to be honest, I don't really know. Like, I come home and I just like I'll play for like a little bit, or like now I've been lately I joined a 1.19 SMP because just give me a second. I gotta lower my music. Yeah, I joined an SMP with these other streamers, and they play on 1.19. And the reason I do that is because I feel like I said, how I joined like 2B is my first server and it's like 1.12. So the cons were is that I feel like 2B kind of stripped me of everything that should have learned when, like, it stripped me of like Minecraft, like authentic Minecraft playing, you know?
yeah,
Because
I get what you mean. Oh, I'm
yeah, cuz
seeing I'm looking at your channel now, and you've got all these videos that are like from this. Is it called Viewer SMP?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll plug your channel in our description stuff for you. By the way,
Oh,
after
well,
this.
thank you very much. I
On
appreciate that.
2B, there's not really like that same survival gameplay loop that there is in normal Minecraft.
No.
Yeah,
It's almost like a completely different game.
yeah, because the thing is that you're born in let's say you're born into like this anarchy server where like dupes and stuff and like gears like handed to you. You never really know how to like craft things sometimes, you know.
You don't even know the crafting recipe.
Yeah, you just get a block and you make copies of it, and you never really like know the recipes or anything. So that's where what I mean is like that's one of the cons of like playing this server, because it's like uh you just don't know, you don't learn the actual game. So me playing the 1.19 also, like I'm like getting introduced to all these blocks that I've never played with, because I've been playing 1.12 for so long that when I play 1.19, like there's just so much going on. I'm still like, it feels like I'm learning, and like to this day I've been playing since 2020. I still feel like I'm learning a lot of stuff, you know, and it's fun, you know. I love it, you know. It's uh but yeah, it just feels like it robs you of the actual Minecraft experience, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair. I want to say now that I'm looking at your channel, I've seen a lot of the stuff on this channel before. I just forgot about it. But like your your video editing is very good. It this is like exactly like the kind of thing that I try to do with our
Yeah.
videos, and like this is great. Like the base cinematics are beautiful.
Yeah, that's one thing I just recently tried to start getting into, but my last computer got destroyed because I got a little too drunk and I spilled beer on it. So like
Oh
now
shoot.
I'm not
Oh
yeah.
no.
So
Ooh.
the computer I run now is like not able to like do replay mod and like do all that stuff. It's just
Yeah.
too much for it to handle. So I'm just gonna wait until I get another computer that can do that, so I can start doing base cinematics, because I love doing it. It's like, you know, it's like kind of like my little hobby to just do, you know, and it's fun, you know. I love it,
Mm-hmm.
and plus I love showing other people's builds and then giving them credit for it, you know. Like it's like
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. I think
yeah,
there's a distinct lack of channels that do just tour content, touring
yeah,
bases and stuff. Were you at
Yeah,
Whitehaven, by the way? I see there's a Whitehaven video here.
yeah. I think I was like the last person invited to Whitehaven. I built like this little flower tower thing
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom. I guess I didn't really have much time
Yeah.
because that's
It
I
didn't. I mean, it
first
didn't last very long after.
yeah I got
Yeah.
introduced to Crowbar
Mm-hmm.
and all the other guys and stuff. But they're all really cool people, And when I first got there, I was like I was mind blown. Like these guys, like were like,
Yeah. Crowbar's on
eh,
a whole nother level.
yeah, they're a whole different level of like builders, like and.
He's just very, very good. It's
But
very
I
hard.
feel very blessed to like build with them because the fact is like, um, even if like my little flower tower is not fucking amazing as much as like their like builds there.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually one of my favorite like builders on 2B. So like I feel like very blessed and very lucky to like get the chance to at least experience little that base, and
Yeah.
you know um
That's one of the best bases probably in the history of the server. So that's a
I,
pretty nice accomplishment.
yeah
Bonk,
yeah
do you have any questions that you wanted to ask while we got him?
I mean, I think my questions I'd been planning to ask have pretty much been covered. I mean,
Well, can you think
what
of anything you
is
want to say
is
to
there any
Bonk?
like is there any notable achievements or like what's the greatest accomplishment you've had on QB?
Um, like greatest accomplishment on 2B. I don't really know. I think, in my personal opinion, like people want to be like the best, the king of 2B, whatever that is. I don't really know what the king of 2B is because like there's nothing like that. Like I have no goals like that. It has nothing to do with 2B. I think my greatest accomplishment is the fact is I just get to know people and like make friends. Like that's all I really care about, and just have a good time because I'm not really here to like um I'm not here for anything like anything like that. Like I just come build and have great experiences with friends, like have a good time. That's it.
That's
I think
really
yeah. That's how I feel.
Really like that answer.
Oh, thank you.
Lucan, did you want to
Yeah.
ask? Um,
Yeah. So, what do you think is the biggest lesson that you've learned during your time on 2B?
Biggest lesson. Okay, that's a hard one. Shit. My biggest lesson is damn, I've learned some lessons obviously, but the biggest lesson is I don't I guess just have my the biggest lesson is like that I've learned is just don't take the oh here it is, okay. So don't take the game too seriously because I know the game can change some people's minds. Like you could meet somebody and they're like the coolest person, but once they start playing the server, it it changes them, like they get a little bit of the fame, they get a little bit of the fact that they're getting noticed within the community and stuff, and then it changes people, like and it changes some people for the worst.
Yeah.
huh.
Um and I don't know if it's like maybe this just like something they're just doing it for fun or like it's actually happening, but it feels like some people kind of like they let the game consume them.
Yeah. Honestly, I've seen that myself.
Yeah, I mean it happens and it's sad, and sometimes it is kind of heartbreaking because you care about this is a person you become friends with, and then next thing you know it's like they're not the same person
Hmm.
that you started playing with. But yeah, just don't let the game consume you.
that's good. That may even be a good stopping point.
That's a good takeaway.
That is a very good takeaway.
Yeah.
Uh, we're just about at the 30-minute mark. I think we should go ahead and wrap it up. That was a great conversation.
All right. Well, I just
Um,
want to tell you, I want to tell you guys like thank you guys for like giving me this opportunity to like speak my mind for a bit.
yeah, of course, of course.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
You want to shout out your channel and stuff, and then you can like link us your stuff here, so I'll put that in the video description too.
Okay. Yeah, my channel's like Lunch Katsu. It's I don't think it's gonna be that hard to find. If you just type in Lunch Katsu Minecraft, but yeah, I mean, also like there's other people who make really great videos. I know DonFuer makes good videos. And Negative Entry makes a lot of amazing videos. Yeah, I mean, just oh, and shout out to Channy because I miss Channy. Yeah, he's like he's like one of my closest gaming friends. Um, I miss him. I miss playing with him, but I know he's busy. But yeah, um, um, I
Amazing.
guess, yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Lunch.
Thank
I'll
you.
probably upload this in a couple days.